Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to be doing my first Oxford Very Short Introduction review, and this one's going to be The Earth by Martin Redfern. And this was one of the books that I picked up out of the 11 books in a set for $5 at the thrift store, so I was really pleased getting this. I don't know too much about like geology and that sort of thing, so I was actually looking forward to reading this book, especially since I want to get into the life sciences, even though this would be more of a physical science book. Knowing more about the Earth would probably actually help, I assume, knowing about, all the life forms and all that goes with that, living on the Earth. So, like I said, I went ahead reading it, hoping to learn a lot, and actually I did quite a bit. The unfortunate thing was I felt the first half of the book was done really, really well, which deals more with, like, sort of, not necessarily the formation of the Earth, but how the Earth's atmosphere has, transformed over time, and the different, invisible processes that are going around around the Earth, such as the magnetosphere, that protects us from like solar radiation, and stuff like that. I felt that half of the book was really, really cool, and it helps. The author definitely helps try to bring things into perspective with the whole concept of deep time. Like the Earth is billions of years old, and it takes millions or billions of years for these certain things to occur. I thought that was really well done. Unfortunately, I felt the second half of the book dragged on a little bit, and the second half dealt a lot more with geological processes such as continental drift and volcanoes and earthquakes and things of that nature. And I just felt that most of the time it was explained clearly, but it was kind of dull and dry, to be honest. Definitely didn't keep me engaged. The illustrations, however, definitely really helped for the most part. There was one that I still had like no idea what was going on, even with the diagram and the arrows and everything. But other than that one, most of them do help, illustrate and convey the point that's trying to be made, which is really good. And that's what diagrams are for. So that's definitely a plus. I did learn a bunch of little tidbits, which I always love learning. But for example, probably my favorite thing I'm taking away from the book is, everyone kind of knows, there was way back when there was like a supercontinent, Pangea, and that's all well and good. But apparently there were two supercontinents before that. Like that's how long the continents have been like drifted on and all over the place. Was Pangea was actually the third supercontinent that formed after the continents came together and broke up and came together and broke up and came together again. So I thought that was super cool. Apparently the supercontinents before that were Pannotia, and even before that, the first supercontinent was Rodinia, and I had never heard of that ever. Like, I always thought like Pangea was sort of the first supercontinent type thing that the Earth had, but apparently there's good evidence for two other supercontinents before it, and I was like, whoa, how come I never learned that? But anyway, so I was really pleased with that sort of thing. Like I said, even though it's a little dry at points, the author makes some good points in explaining how certain things happen, because, like, for example, I didn't realize that rocks, like a solid rock of the continental crust or something, way deep down, even though it's not liquid, it can still flow, I guess. And that's kind of hard to, I'm not going to be good at explaining how that works, but he definitely does a good job explaining that, and that's how, like, a lot of these processes are able to occur. Because they can't happen when it's actually a liquid, but it also has to be moving. And I guess apparently at those pressures, like rocks and all that stuff, the structures can literally flow like a liquid. So yeah, like I said, I was pretty in the dark with a lot of these processes since I've never studied it before. So I thought this was a good introduction. And like I said, overall, I'm going to give the book 4 out of 5 stars because I learned a ton from it. Though it's a little dry, but it's a very short introduction, and it's only like 130 pages, which is actually fairly long for these very short introduction books. But like I said, I'm definitely pleased that I read it. So for that, 4 out of 5 stars to The Earth, a very short introduction by Martin Redfern, and always remember, read victoriously.